A Nigerian behind an online fraud network which engineered scams worth more than $60 million has been arrested in the southern oil city of Port Harcourt. The suspect ran a network of at least 40 people working from Nigeria, Malaysia and South Africa, which used malware and carried out the fraud. He also had money laundering contacts in China, Europe and the US, who provided bank account details for the illicit cash transactions. The fraudster and a second suspect face charges including hacking, conspiracy and obtaining money under false pretences. Well, for more on this, we're now joined by our correspondent Deji Badmus. He's standing by for us in Lagos. Deji, very little is known about this man except that he used the alias Mike. What do we know then about his real identity and his seemingly expansive network?
Well, Lindy, the identity of this individual has still not been revealed by the EFCC. What we just know is that he's been identified as Mike. But I believe in the course of its investigation and probably in the coming days when this individual will be charged to court, then his identity will be revealed. But for now, the EFCC isn't saying much. He's just been described as Mike and that he's a 40-year-old Nigerian. Now, in terms of his network, it's quite expansive, covering as a matter of fact, continents. I mean, as far as Australia, Canada, the United States of America, Indonesia, Malaysia. And what we have found out now and what we have been told is that basically their business, let me just put it that way now, that his business basically revolved around two types of fraud. That's payment diversion and what has been described as a CEO fraud. And it's quite shocking. A lot of people never knew that such an individual would be in this country making so much, making so much money from scamming people. But we're waiting to, the EFCC definitely will be bringing up charges against this individual. We understand he's on administrative bail for now, and we're likely to see them in court in the coming days, Lindy.
And is it likely at all that others or other countries might get involved in this investigation? As you say, he had a very expansive network. Is it likely then that we might see court cases abroad outside of Nigeria?
Well, there is a possibility. That's one thing we're not very sure of. And what we know is that the EFCC says it is still investigating the matter. And what we're hearing from some people is that one of the reasons why this individual has not been charged immediately is just because EFCC will try to resolve this issue of jurisdiction as to where this individual now will be charged, whether he should be charged here in Nigeria or charged abroad. But it's not impossible that we see court cases coming up abroad. But for now, the EFCC says this individual will be charged to court in the coming days. Now, whether we're going to see cases come up abroad, we do not know. But there's every likelihood we could see that. And I believe the EFCC will try to strike a deal and strike some kind of balance. If, for instance, jurisdiction abroad are convinced that justice can be done in the case here, then I don't see any reason why anyone would be opposed to this individual now standing trial in Nigeria. But then it's still a matter of wait and see what exactly happens.
Deji Badmus live for us there in Lagos, Nigeria with that update.